Hi, everybody. I am Andra Annette, and welcome to this week's session as Building Community. I am here with Farouk Sydow, and he is a business consultant and he's also a coach himself. So he helps new entrepreneurs, people that are just starting in business, build a lifestyle business without the hype. He does this all organic, no paid ads, and he really wants to help them achieve a six business income. I've seen him around out there, and I really like his message. So please help me welcome Farouk. Hi there.
Hi everyone.
I like that you are not about paid ads because there are a lot of people that push paid ads. And when people are just starting out in business, it's really not the way to go. It's really trial by error, and you really have to know what you're doing. But I like that you do organic because that is about getting to know your clients and really positioning yourself with your audience and getting to know the people that you actually help. So you do have a family.
Mhm.
So this is a lifestyle business for you.
Yeah.
And everybody out there wants more money, more time, more freedom, and a better lifestyle. And you and I both know that you have to be committed to yourself because in the beginning, you don't have more time, more money, or more freedom. That you do have to really remain consistent and put in those action steps. So I heard you speaking honestly about that. And I think that's the first time I've been out here that I've actually heard someone use that honesty. So tell me a little bit more about what inspired you to create that story I saw the other day.
Um, the thing is that we all go through certain experiences and we go through ups and downs, and we find our path along the way where we kind of come to work out, what, this doesn't work for me. This seems to be, it lacks, the personalization. It doesn't bid well, with trying to create something that resonates with you. And we know when I did that post, you know, it was, you know, it was at a point where, enough is enough. I have spoken to countless coaches and consultants coming to the space and hearing their experiences and the challenges that they've gone through. And, it's like, okay, you know what? It's not healthy for everyone to try and build something on the basis of all of these big, bold claims that are out there, all of this hype that's out there, all of these somewhat false claims that gives people a false sense of hope. It's like, you come into this world, you think, oh, it's super easy. I can make all this money with zero effort. And then boom, the world comes crumbling down. So I just got to a point where it's like, you know what? I got to say it like it is. And if those on the other side don't like that, then it's unfortunate because the reality is it's not like that. The reality is that you got to put in the work, you got to put in the effort, and you got to be willing to go the distance until you get the result.
I
So,
agree wholeheartedly with that. When I first came online, I came online to help. It was during COVID, and I was that nurse. I didn't come on to start a business. And it
yeah,
became a business before I decided to make it a business. So I had to jump in, but I still wasn't
yeah,
comfortable because of all the hype out there, and not comfortable in what I do because I've been doing it for 40 years. But the things that are being told around businesses and how to
mm,
play to people's pain points, and
mm,
it just didn't sit well with me because that's
yeah,
not who I am. And
yeah,
I started showing up as a different person, and I didn't like
mm,
that person.
yep,
When I showed up just to help and just to be who I was really happy and aligned with who I was. And when I started to listen to that hype that you're talking about, it got me very away from who I was. And I said, I
yep,
can't do this. I got to do this my way, in a way
mm,
that feels good to me,
correct,
with honesty and integrity, or I just can't do it at all. And
yeah,
I don't know that that was going to lead me to $1 million quicker either.
yeah,
But you and I also know too that there's like 0.0.1% of people that actually hit that million. So you do see a lot of freedom lifestyles out there and six-figure businesses. And a lot of those people who are selling them are still trying to figure out how to do it themselves.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, if I can touch on the fact that, yes, I do have a lifestyle business, but it didn't start out like that. I had to put in the work. I have it now, but I mean, it took me years to get. I mean, I started my entrepreneurial journey back in 2014. Most of the businesses that I tried, which were all for the wrong reasons, most of them failed. And the ones that did make money wasn't aligned because I started these businesses because I wanted to make money, and they were for the wrong reasons. And I got quickly bored of it, and I just lost interest because it was for the wrong reasons. So a lot of what's being communicated out there that you can work 2 hours a day and live this kind of flashy lifestyle, and it's minimal effort. I can categorically say right now that all of those people had to put in the work many, many years ago to get to that point. So I tend to, disagree with a lot of those kind of flashy claims. But anyway, cut a long story short, that was my journey. Lots of ups and downs, more downs than ups, and it's only been within the kind of the last 4 years that I've really, felt that I enjoy what I do. I wake up energized. I look forward to it. I go the extra mile for my clients in so many cases. I mean, I got told by people like, why do you do that? Like, why do you offer additional, sales support or sales call support when they've only paid you X? And I'm like, it's because I feel like doing it, because it's more about the value that I'm going to deliver. And maybe they'll go and say, hey, you know what, check that guy out. He's always willing to go the extra mile. So I'd rather be that guy than like, oh no, you know what, he's just like, completely in a box. And if the time is up, the time is up, and that's it. Cheers, bye bye. I can't operate like that. It's not me.
Well, I think that's a very good alternative to what they are selling out here, because a lot of times they're stuck into a content container
Hmm.
and they don't have that support. And even though people really want to start a business, a lot of people out here have never been in business. They don't know how to set up, a business email. I mean, the very basics, how to set up a business account. So they are going to need that support. And I think that when you give that extra, I'm doing a challenge this month, and I think the resources are bigger than the actual thing we're doing. Because I
Yeah.
think, on my journey, I needed all those things, and I would have really appreciated if those were available to me. So I
Hmm.
think that the more that you put into it, the more it speaks
Yeah.
about who you are as a
Yes.
person. And
Hmm.
it might not be a quick referral that someone gives, but when someone's thinking of what helped them in their business, they're going to remember that ongoing support that you
Of course.
offered when other people weren't offering it. So that's going to
Absolutely.
do so much better for your business and
Hmm.
as character for who you are, right?
Hmm.
So I appreciate that you're doing that. When I came out here, I mean, I got scammed left and right. People just charging me a lot of money. I mean, I'm speaking honestly, a lot of money
Me
because
too.
I thought I needed this and this and this. And if this is good, this is better. And
Hmm.
I just got scammed. And I said, do I really need all this stuff? This is what I do. Why not
Yeah.
just come out and talk about what I do? And I stopped listening a long time ago.
Yeah.
Even today, my emails are just swamped with people trying to sell me the next best thing. And I don't know if you've noticed it because I know you're getting them too. Everybody on Facebook is, and it's really
There's the
decreased.
smile.
Yeah, it's really decreased the trust value out there. But
Hmm.
every single one of them sounds the same. It sounds like a cut and paste, you know? And to me that's not really setting themselves up for business, and it's very
Hmm.
clear that they're in it for the money. And when you follow the money, you're not building a business. You're
No,
really
absolutely.
not.
And at some point it'll catch up with you because you've been doing it for all the wrong reasons. And it leads to a point where you get frustrated, you're unhappy, you're not in a good place. It's completely against who you really are. I mean, you touched on one thing, Andra, that for me, that's been a key word over recent weeks is trust. And the trust in the coaching and the consulting or in the online space has dwindled quite a bit. People are desensitized, they are tired of the hype marketing and the big bold claims. And which makes our job, as the good people that are out there that genuinely want to help, makes our job a lot harder because now you gotta do that extra work to gain someone's trust. And weirdly enough, one of the things that I'm actually doing literally now as we speak, which was launched today, is how do I how do I call it break that barrier of lack of trust? And one of the things that I've been doing now, and I'm going to test out over the next couple of days, is to actually connect with people one on one. So hey, let's hop on a call and let's do a couple of days of one-on-one coaching about your business. What do you want to achieve? How do you want to achieve it? Why haven't you been able to achieve it? How do we fix this? How do we fix that? How do we fix that? Just because I want to demonstrate to people out there that I'm here to help you. Yes, I need to get rewarded because I have a family and all of those things, but let me show you the value first, and then you can decide if it makes sense to you.
I like that approach because if there's no perceived value, then nobody is going to
Yeah.
understand that it does cost money to grow a business. There are a lot of people out there that want a business and they want a freedom lifestyle, but they don't want to invest in themselves. So I like that you included that, yes, you deserve to be rewarded because
Yeah.
a lot of people do try to nickel and dime you. I think in a lot of my reels, you'll see as part of my reels, I put in if money and time is your excuse, then this is not for you. Because
Mhm.
when I was on this journey, I was willing to go all in on myself.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't get to that place in my life because I was doing the right thing for myself, right? And I
Mhm.
had to do that work. It wasn't easy, but I had to do it. So
Yes.
if you're not 7 out of 10 that you're all in with me, then you're not a good fit for me and my business because I can only help you if
Mhm.
you want that help. And when you offer that extra value and people are not seeing the value and they're still asking about why is this a cost, then they don't
Yeah.
understand the value of business.
Well, there we go, right? And I think there's I was watching a podcast a little while back, and it got me thinking. It reminded me of my own experiences. Is that there are three things that we need, when it comes to being successful, whether it's in business or in your life, right? You got to be super interested in that particular aspect of your life or your business. Super interested. Then you got to be committed, all in. And then you got to take it a step further and you got to be obsessed. Obsessed to a point where you are thinking about all the different ways that you can grow, all the different ways that you can make an impact, all the different ways that you can feel fulfilled and live your best life. Not obsessed to a way where you are trampling on people, but in a good, positive way. And you got to have these three things, and this is what I've been living with, for quite a while. You got to have these three things in kind of like an equal measure. And you can't just be completely obsessed and then you're not really interested, because then you'll be obsessed for the wrong reasons. Or maybe you are very interested, but you kind of committed and you're not really that obsessed about it. And between those three, they got to be in equal measure in order for you to keep going, in order for you to persevere, to withstand all the challenges, the peaks and troughs, the naysayers, the doubts, the emotional roller coaster that you go through, the wins and losses, and you name it. And those are the three things that we always got to keep in mind. It's going to be the part of that game changing lifestyle that you want.
But I think those things are necessary because if you are committed and you are really obsessed, so to speak, and there's a certain excitement about it. Like when I was listening to what other people said were right for me, I wasn't happy. And I couldn't get obsessed about somebody else's dream for my business. I had to create that dream for myself. And there were times where maybe I couldn't afford to invest in something at that time. And I said, well, why do I feel people should invest in me when I'm not willing to invest in myself in that
Yeah,
time, in that money, and in that time? And I just started building around me. So I definitely understand that. And you do need to be obsessed. Sometimes I spend way too much time in my business, way
yeah,
too much time in my business. But it's what lights me up. So it's very
yeah,
important that it is. So, I mean, my business is not much different than my profession, right? I'm doing the same thing, just in a different way. But
mm,
if it's not something that really aligns with you and who you are, and you're not happy doing it, then you shouldn't be doing it. You should find that piece. That's what's critical. You know, if you're a bridge builder and you don't like building bridges, then find something else, and you don't have to be the best at it. You just have to be a few steps ahead of the people that are trying to learn. But you should dedicate time to mastering whatever it is that you're actually teaching, right? So that you'll
absolutely,
always be a few steps ahead. I've been at this 40 years and I learn every day.
absolutely. And
I
I
knew
mean,
nothing about business when I came out here. I didn't even know how to work a computer when I came out here. And I said, I'm going to do this. Luckily, they rolled out, medical records not too far before that. So I kind of had to learn. So I said,
yeah,
well, I guess I could do this. Um, but I really like what you're about, and I do see that you offer a lot of value. I'm very excited for you and your launch. I think it's going to bring a lot of success to you. So you have created two six-figure businesses yourself, and one is the academy, right? The Client
correct. Yes.
Acquisition Academy.
That's correct. Yes. So the Client Acquisition Academy is a rebrand. It used to be High Performance Living. So maybe a little bit of backstory. So my journey started out as, when I got into the coaching space in particular was life coaching. And that's kind of where it all started. So started out as a life coach, then evolved more into the high performance side of things, so more mindset related. And again, that stemmed off from my love for personal development, which spans to over 2 decades. And I've got stacks of books, and I've attended multiple, seminars and events between Tony Robbins and Stephen Covey's and you name it. And then I brought aspects of those experiences, into the life coaching high performance. And that journey, I would say, was probably about a year. And eventually, as I started engaging, connecting with other fellow coaches, and they were asking me, like, what are you doing differently that you are getting a bit of a result and we not? And again, my, call it this inner love to help others and to support them, I then evolved into business coaching and consulting. And I thought, well, I'm doing a couple of stuff here. There was a few things that I absolutely didn't enjoy with the group mastermind that I belonged to. And I looked at all of those things which I didn't enjoy, which I didn't like. And I brought aspects of that into what I do in terms of my coaching. And for a long time, when I evolved from the life coaching into the business coaching, for quite a while, I focused a lot on one-on-one because the personalization was quite a biggie for me because I realized that the copy and paste kind of cookie cut kind of stuff, which I was exposed to over 4 years ago, didn't quite work for me. It gave me a starting point, but I just felt completely out of sync. I wasn't taught how to think about my business. I was just taught, do this, do this, do this, and make examples of these exactly like this kind of thing. And I just felt like I was out of place. And anyway, so to cut a long story short, I then evolved, into this business coaching and focusing mainly on one-on-one. And that then evolved now into me. It's now 4 months now that I've introduced group coaching, but more of a hybrid aspect because I'm still very much stuck on and driven and committed and passionate about creating that personalized experience, because I've got to be mindful that whoever I meet along the way, I got to meet them where they are. I got to understand what is your situation right now and why are you here? Where would you like to go? What kind of support do you need to get there? Because the kind of support that this individual needs versus the other person is very different. Some may take a little bit longer to understand these concepts, where someone else, are able to grasp these concepts a lot faster. I mean, I got to keep in mind, and again, through the hundreds of coaches and consultants that I've spoken to over the years, marketing, sales, creating content, putting themselves out there online, these are all new things. These individuals were working 9 to 5s. They were doing, a completely different work, and now they got to come into the online space and put themselves out. I mean, if I look at myself, the first time when I did a 1 minute video, it took me 3 days to shoot a 1 minute video. I was literally exhausted, and I'm not even exaggerating. I was exhausted because of the amount of takes that I had to keep, because I was trying to memorize a script and I kept making a mistake, and I'm like 2 seconds in, and then I'm like, start again over, do it again, and then you go like, you go all the way and you're almost done and you make a mistake. Anyway, so I had to take all of that into consideration, that everybody's at a different stage. But at the same time, I was also limiting myself by, not being able to make more of an impact. Like, how can I help more people? How can I contribute to the ripple effect? Because that's really what it's about. Like, so how do I help make more entrepreneurs, more people that are passionate about helping others? How do I do more of that? So I spent a lot of time. I mean, in fact, I did a lot of market research to try and understand what are people's thoughts when it comes to this group kind of coaching environment, call it a group mastermind. What do they like about it? What do they not like about it? What do they like to see more of? What do they like to see less of? And. So that then involved, and then the Client Acquisition Academy was then called it born as a result of all of this research and kind of moving, from high performance living into the Client Acquisition Academy. So that's kind of where I'm at now, spending a lot of time and energy building this out, researching it, tweaking it, iterating it as we go along. And it's purely and mainly built on the basis of my conversations that I'm having with coaches and consultants, early stage entrepreneurs that are coming to space. So I'm trying to build something that they need, not try and build something that I think they might need. Yes, certain aspects of that, but it's more about what do you need, coupled with what my experience and strategy, and bring that together. And the objective around that is to ensure that it's a higher level of success if I can provide the right kind of support.
I love that. I did promise I was going to get you out of here though for that swim lesson with your son. What happened? You left.
Let me see if I'm back. Hold on. There we
There you
go.
go. I lost your
That
video.
was,
So
that was weird.
it's
Yeah.
okay. I just want you to tell people I love what you've said, but I do want you to be able to be there for your son today. So how would people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I will have to get you I'm obviously available on Facebook. I
Mhm.
am available on LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm mostly active on LinkedIn and Facebook. The other way that they can contact me is send me an email if need be, which is Farouk, which is Farouk at high dash performance living.com. Still have my old email address. I still got to change that domain. That's where they can find me. And I'll share with you some additional links as well. I think when you put this out, and
Yes.
hope you can find me there as well. People can also send me a direct message, and the one thing that I want the viewers to be comfortable with is that when I initially meet someone, it's never my intention, or never will be my intention, to sell you anything. I cannot offer you anything if I don't know you, if I don't know what your situation is, and of course, if you want that kind of help at the end of the day. You gotta choose, and you gotta decide, because at the end of the day, it's your life, it's your future, and you also got to make that, call it informed, call it mature, you know, decision to move you forward.
I love that. It's been great talking to you. I am going to give our audience a break. It's thank you so much for tuning in to this week. I know you love him as much as I do, and have a great day.
Thank you for having me.